Hey Kim, how are you doing today?
Hey Kayla, I'm good.
So before we get started, to talk about a mutual client of ours, someone that you referred to me, we'll leave out all of the personal details today. But go ahead and introduce yourself. You've been in real estate for a long time. You've had a really successful career, so I'd love to highlight that before we get started.
You're highlighting that I'm old, but okay. So I've been
Experienced.
experience. I like that, mature. I've been in the business. This year will make 25 years, and it's been quite a journey, but it's given me lots of opportunities. So it's been
Yeah.
great.
All right. So you have been a realtor for 25 years. Now, were all of those years in the Escambia, Santa Rosa market?
Yep, they sure were. They're all here, grew up here, know this area. So, yep, all of it here.
Raised your kids here and now you're a
To
grandma.
I am a grandma, and it's the best thing.
That's
Um,
awesome.
they're
Well,
6 months
you
apart and they're fun.
well, I'm super excited to have this conversation with you today. We have known each other for probably what,
At
ish,
least.
five,
Hmm.
6 years. Met through real estate, and we had been talking at the beginning of the year. I think everyone does this, right? It's the new year. We're setting new goals. We're thinking, what do we want out of this year in life and in business?
Hmm.
And so you and I we had coffee and we were talking about what are some things that were coming up and uh, which direction were you wanting to go. And actually, you were helping your daughter at the time decide should she
Right.
sell and downsize or should she rent? And through that conversation, you and I had told you about the all in one loan. We talked about different advantages to the all in one loan, whether it be something that maybe your daughter needed at that time or could potentially use in the future because she had a ton of equity. So she was going to have a lot of cash. And it was through that conversation that you learned about the all in one loan, which brought us to the opportunity that I had to serve your friend who learned about the all in one loan over lunch with you. So I would just love if you could share a little bit about no personal details, but just how did that lunch go? What were some key things that our client shared that made you think, hey, I think Kayla can help her achieve her goals? Just tell us about that conversation.
I remember when we sat down that time at the coffee shop because I know that you went over that with me probably 3 times that morning because it was a little hard to grasp. But once the light bulb went off, I was pretty intrigued by it. It was a really great product. And then I met up with a friend of mine for lunch, like you said, and she's just started, in our conversation telling me about some goals they had and what they wanted to do, maybe purchasing more property, but they didn't want to tie up all the equity in their home and just different things. And so I told her, I said, just hear me out on something that's going to sound like, it's going to be maybe hard to grasp at first. And I'll tell you the little bit that I know, but I really thought it could work really well for them. And so she heard me out on it and she asked for your number right away. And then I was surprised to hear from you a little bit later that you guys actually were working on one together. And it's really fun when you are talking with people and you can actually you can help them, especially if they think that there's just no way that they can do this and you say,
Mm-hmm.
hey, there might be a better way. So and it was really great that they could reach out to you.
Yeah, I
So,
I feel like oftentimes, and I have friends who hate numbers and they're like, I can't imagine doing what you do all day, every day. And I
right.
can imagine too, as the real estate side, there's a lot of people who just see HGTV and they think that
Mhm.
that's all it is. And I know you and I, there are times when you do every transaction is different, but what you're doing day in and day out, you go, am I making a difference? Like, am I really helping people? And when those opportunities arise, or you hear from a client share a story about how you help them, I know for me personally, it really takes me to a different place, like emotionally, because I'm like, oh,
Right.
yeah, I am. If you just look at what I do on paper, like I'm just doing a mortgage, but if we really think about why is this person getting a mortgage? Why do they need a mortgage? What are the impacts of home ownership and how it helps move families forward and build wealth? When you actually see all those puzzle pieces come together, like it really, that's why I do this. It's not
Very
for,
rewarding.
yes, that's what makes it
Yeah.
rewarding. It's not just about seeing pretty houses. It's
Right.
really about helping people find solutions that work for their life. So I just love that well, one, obviously it did when we were connecting, it is a hard concept, like you mentioned.
It's
And
very hard.
it's
It's
helpful to relate it to real life.
mhm. Right. And I think just, like you said, it's just not showing the houses. It's really what I love is when you're talking with somebody and they're just kind of defeated, or they're thinking they just can't buy a home, or they can't reach those different, whatever their goals are. And you can come up with some solutions. Hey, try this, or these different things out there. And that's when you're bringing the value to them. And then two, really, I think that then they realize too at that point that you're just not in it to make a deal, that you care about them. You've listened to what their goals are, and you truly want to help them find a way. There's more than one way to get there. And you
Absolutely.
just need to look at all the different avenues. And um, I think this is a great tool, and I'm excited about telling more people about it. We have another client, mutual client, that
Hmm.
I sent your way that's doing new construction, that
Yeah.
even though you could use it for that, and they're very excited. And they had retirement goals, and part of their issue about trying to decide if they should stay in their house or go was being able, they were close to paying their house off. So
Yeah.
they were very excited. They really wanted to know more when they heard that they could potentially pay this new house off very quickly in retirement. So that was exciting to be able to tell them about it.
Yeah, for sure. So what I love, so two clients in very similar seasons of life. They're empty nesters, both nearing retirement. And so they want to enjoy where they live. They want to put themselves in positions to be in a safe haven should a hurricane come. They want to live in maybe a little bit smaller but newer place that requires less maintenance. And then but over looming in their head is like debt. They're like, am I crazy? Like why at my age would I
Right.
go get more debt? And the unfortunate part about our traditional financing system is it isn't flexible. It's not putting our money to work for us. It's really just making the bank's money. And we sell home ownership, at least I do, because it has been the best, like it's proven, right? It's not
Right.
just me making it up, but when you own a home, you have more wealth than people who are non-homeowners.
Right.
Not to say that's 100% of every case, but that's a huge thing for me. I mean, that has been my best avenue to build my wealth. It's certainly not been just like I'm getting raises every year that I'm just able to stack piles of you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Right.
and so we say it builds wealth, but really what we're doing is we're building this illiquid asset when we're in a traditional financing product, because yes, we pay off our debt, and so we have all this equity. We've gained appreciation, we've paid off the debt, so we have all this equity. But then when we feel like it's time to use it, we feel like we have one option, which is to sell or cash out and sign up for another large payment.
Right. You
And
kind of have to ask the bank permission to grab your money,
exactly, yeah.
you're in a HELOC or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and so what I love about the all-in-one is it is a HELOC. So yes, you're paying for financing when you do this. I mean, this is not, I'm not selling this as cheap by any means. But
Right.
if you're going to finance, why wouldn't we go with a product that is a revolving line of credit? So when you pay it down, you don't have to finance out of it again to borrow from it. Should you, to your point, you don't want to ask the bank permission and you want to go buy X, Y, or Z.
Right.
So I love the flexibility. And yeah, so for your clients, the exciting part for them is the one client did not have to sell their current home
Right. That was
or
huge.
sign.
That was a huge thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have to sell it. They can live there. buy their dream piece of property next to all of their friends who have the same hobby as them, and they
Right.
can build cash while living at their current waterfront home.
Right.
And the other benefit that they realized was, in a traditional cash out, they would have paid financing, they would have paid like closing costs on the total amount. So they would have had to cash everything out and paid that larger financing cost. They didn't need all the money for the building right now. They just wanted to
Right.
pay off a little bit of debt and purchase the land. So they only paid closing cost on that. They didn't pay closing cost on that plus construction.
That's the whole, right. Yeah.
And they don't have a payment on that additional amount. So
Right.
that's why it really made sense for them. They, by the way, they grasped it very quickly. You know, we talked, we had a conversation, and then I sent videos, I sent case studies, but they took to it like a fish takes to water, and we're very
Right.
excited about the opportunity. Your other clients who are purchasing new construction, what's even funnier about them in her story, and this is just what we get to learn so much about people's lives and dynamics. It's fun. Her father, who is well into retirement,
Mhm.
he was the one who was like, "Why wouldn't you do this? Go get a
Mhm.
great home. You know,
Right.
I won't be around forever." Which she was like, "That's a little morbid, Dad." But he was saying like, don't wait to live. Yes,
Right.
you want to retire in a few years. This sounds like a great opportunity. You've got the equity in your current home to do this. You will come into money sooner rather than later. You make good money now. Go get that house you want. And you were there to help negotiate an amazing deal, get them the upgrades they wanted. And I really felt like, because of the all-in-one loan, she felt more empowered to make the upgrades to get the home that she really wanted versus just settling
Right.
for what was offered. Would you agree?
Because they could bring that balance down pretty quickly. So
Yeah.
that kind of gave them more of an, you want to say, like an open checkbook,
Mm-hmm.
but they had a plan for it. So it made it so much easier. I think this product is fantastic. I mean, when you start thinking about, especially my age group, but I mean younger people too, but you're in that season of life. I think we talked before about being able to pull that money if you need to help aging parents, or even your kids now who have children and you want to help them out. But it's a way to be able to do that easily
Mm-hmm.
and financially, I guess, smart way. I love it that my clients grasp it quicker than I did. It means at least that I gave them enough of the information that they kind of understood, and then they could fine tune their questions to you to really tell them how it works and how their money's going to work for them. And I'm glad that they that they picked it up quicker because
Yeah.
I mean I can't wait to hear later on if it's worked out probably better than they thought. So,
Yeah, and let's highlight the benefits for you being of service. So, one of these clients, it really hasn't resulted in any new business for you at this time. But let's say they build their dream retirement place at the hangar. They may
right,
decide, we do want to let go of the waterfront property for whatever reason. So they'd be closing out the all-in-one loan. I have
right,
to imagine they're not calling anyone else to list their property but you.
right. They
And
better not.
so it's providing service now for the opportunity later. Let's say their kids are looking to buy. Who are they going to recommend that their kids work
Right,
with? You, because you offered them a solution versus just saying, well, sounds like you need to sell. So,
right,
you
exactly.
know, you've
Which
got
I
all
mean,
this equity.
I didn't think about that. I mean, you're right, because I mean, that would have been a way to kind of push and easily be, and get that a new listing or whatever. But they absolutely love, and I don't blame them. They have amazing sunsets where they are. And so, yeah, it was fun just to kind of be able to help them both because, he maybe wanted to be more on that land inland. She loves the water property. And yeah, but you're right. I mean, I didn't think about that aspect of it too, but it does show you that client for life because you really are listening and looking out for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I think about that a lot because I'm constantly talking with realtors, and that's because we're working on a lot of purchases. And so I
Right.
have this amazing opportunity that, yes, you can use it on a purchase. And
Mhm.
I find that it's harder because it requires more cash. So
Right.
it definitely has to take the right client, the right time, the right opportunity. So we are using this on a purchase for one of your clients, but this other client is a refi, and I find that majority of my, like for example, I have done 10 all-in-ones this year. Your client with the new construction is number 11. It just hasn't closed yet. But out of the 10, 9 were refinances. So when I'm
Wow.
yeah, so when I'm talking with a realtor, I'm always thinking about like, why do they care? Like, yes, it's a great product, but if it doesn't impact them personally, how does this help them add value to their clients? And
Right.
the benefit to me is that they would do a refinance for me. I mean,
Right.
obviously, I make money when someone closes, but it is one of those things that I know realtors need to know about this because your clients, y'all are in such a unique position with your clients. Oftentimes, these are people who you're talking with for months. You know who's sick in the family, maybe who's having a new baby. And the mortgage process is so short, we don't have that same relationship. So when the client wants a pool and they feel like they have equity in the house, they may not remember their mortgage loan officer, but they remember
Right.
their realtor. And
Right.
so for me, I do want my realtors, especially those that I know do love to serve. They are all about service before opportunity. It's like, hey, you do have a tool, and hopefully we can paint the picture for them long term, especially clients who need to do further investing or want to buy investment properties. When they refi and have the cash, well, I'm turning them back over to their trusted realtor to say, hey, you should talk with Kim about, this development over here. I think it's a great rental
Right.
opportunity. Or if you're looking to do some flips, she's got connections. There's a ton of opportunity when people have access to cash.
Right. Yes.
Oftentimes that's the biggest hurdle is, hey, I've got all these assets, but how do I use them? And just getting the word out there that realtors and loan officers can be your number one resource to get that ball rolling. And that's what I think it comes down to. And so I'm so appreciative of you trusting me with your clients and knowing that I do have their best interest first. And
Yeah.
because I certainly trust that I know you as a realtor are out there putting their best interest first, and you would tell someone in a heartbeat if it's not the right time to buy or right time to sell.
Right. Right. Because you don't want that to come back and haunt you too. But I think it's just great to have these extra things kind of like in our tool belt. And
Yeah.
that part between the lender and realtors is huge because kind of how I look at it and I tell, people that I'm working with is I can find you the house, I can get you all that information. But when it comes to the money part and how we're going to do this, how are we going to structure like the most solid offer, and everything like that, you know and trust your lender, and let them figure out the money side of it so I know how to do my side of it for them. And I think that the clients that partnership. And so they will come back to use the same partnership again because they know it works. They've got two people that are really looking out for them. So yeah, it's always great to work with you. You're really good at explaining things and breaking them down into bite-sized pieces for people to understand. So, love
Thank
being your
you.
partner.
Yeah, thank you. I tell my clients all the time when they reach out to me from a trusted realtor, I say, honestly, one of the best parts about you working with me is the fact that I have such a great relationship with your realtor. I said, because
Right.
that us in our communication, they don't realize it, right? Because we do so much behind the scenes to make sure that it's smooth
Right.
and seamless for them. But when I don't have that tried and trusted relationship with a realtor for whatever reason, maybe it's our first deal together, or the client got to me through a different, relationship. I work really hard to build that relationship with the realtor because it benefits the client so greatly for us to work so well
Yeah.
together, ensure their offer structured right, and then ensure we get to the closing table with anything random that pops up from inspection to appraisal, you name it. And
Right.
so
I'll mention appraisal.
so I
Just
can't,
kidding.
and the truth is like, and I've been in the real estate industry, 8 years now, and my experienced realtors, the mature realtors, you all have shaped me. So I know that you all appreciate like my tech skills and things like that. But I have
Right.
learned, you know, life skills that I would not have had otherwise. And so it goes both ways. Thank you so much, Kim, for trusting me with your clients and joining me for this video
Absolutely.
today.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Love it.